So, is it unusual for President Obama to travel to a different part of the country to meet a visiting head of state? What are we to read into that?
The very fact that the White House and, in fact, Beijing are looking for an environment that is conducive to trust building and relationship building. Oftentimes they do these summit meetings on the margins of the UN or APEC or G20 or stuck in Washington, D.C. But the very fact that they're going to be in relative seclusion and isolation in California actually is a pretty good thing, and it's a first for the relationship in recent years in the sense that there will be no outside noise. It's going to be strictly dedicated to trust building, a relationship development, and reprioritizing the issues in the U.S.-China relationship.
How significant is this meeting considering the importance of China and the fact that the president is new and this is his first trip to the U.S. as president of China?
Not only do you have a very unique figure in the case of Xi Jinping, who I think will be the most transformational leader since Deng Xiaoping in the late 1970s and early 1980s, but you have the cycles of the U.S.-China relationship that are very interestingly in sync. In this case, you've got a leader set in China, you have a re-elected president in the United States, and you're not constrained by the politics that typically creeps into the U.S.-China relationship. In other words, there's some smooth sailing ahead and the opportunity, therefore, to deepen and broaden a relationship that desperately needs it.
And yet, the U.S. government and U.S. industry keeps complaining about cyber hacking, these cyber attacks from China. China says that they keep getting attacked by the United States. Who's right here, and how can this be resolved?
Well, to be sure, the cyber issue goes back and forth, and there is cyber poking on the part of a lot of countries in the world. But when you look at the target set that China defines under the national security rubric, it goes well beyond what we would consider to be national security targets. It results in intellectual property theft, which at least a commission that I co-chaired with Admiral Denny Blair for the last year assessed that the price we pay is about $300 billion per year in lost intellectual property, roughly the equivalent of the total U.S. exports to the Asia-Pacific region for a given year.
And when you talk about intellectual theft, you mean computer programs, films, television shows that are stolen and an underground market sells them, reproduces them and sells them from China, right?
That's right. Everything under trademarks, copyrights, patents, they're all infringed upon, whether it's recordings, movies, clothing, or very sophisticated software programs, or even ideas that are being developed among defense contractors with respect to our advanced weapon systems in the United States. All of this has become fair game in recent years, and it really has, therefore, become a significant national security issue when you stop to begin to quantify the level of material and the information that has been exposed.
And lastly, Governor, as the only presidential candidate to ever speak Mandarin Chinese during a presidential debate, I was just wondering if you could say, don't forget to watch the lead on CNN in Mandarin Chinese, if that's okay with you.
这个 Jake Tapper 的新闻节目是非常好的。将来的话，我希望你会有很多的成功。That's a way of saying, more than anything else, I hope that your show has a lot of success longer term.
Well, I hope so. I'm going to get a translator to make sure that's what you said. Thank you so much, Governor. Appreciate it.
All right, Jake. Good being with you.